What's up, everybody? It's Marcus D'Angelo, and we are back for another episode of the Hacksaw Hour. And of course, I could never do it. I would never want to do it without the man himself, WWE Hall of Famer, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Jim, how you doing, brother?
Good, brother. It'd be kind of hard to do the show without me, the Hacksaw Duggan show. Can I ask questions like, Hacksaw, what's your favorite food? Great answer.
Yeah, that would be a little bit tough to do it without you.
Good. Good to talk to you. It's been a couple of weeks, Marcus. Yeah, I thought you forgot about me, man. You know, you're working with the big shot there, DiBiase, you know, and be glad you could squeeze me in.
DiBiase beat me up, man. I think he's got heat with me now, brother.
Well, I don't blame him, brother. I'm kind of looking forward to the next time I see you too, brother. I've got a long memory, Marcus. Remember that. And DiBiase, we were the Rat Pack together.
Oh, no. All
so
right.
Don't be surprised if we dig up Matt Bourne and I'll hit him with you.
I was going to say, maybe I'll try to be the third member of the Rat Pack. I'll be on your side.
Yeah. We'll get a hold of a Ouija board. Dear Matt.
We're starting out.
Hey, Marcus, seriously, though, brother, as always, we always have a good time. But seriously, can I really ask you a question, though, my friend?
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it, Jim.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how long the show has been on just right now. I mean, what, 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
And you haven't hoed yet, brother. You think we're going to do a show without hoeing? I'm giving you a line. My reel is spinning out. I'm like, sooner or later, I mean, we've been doing this over a year. He'll throw a hole in there like, oh, hey, Hacksaw, you know, a preemptive hole.
All right. From now on,
like, kind of on your bachelor party, you know, they had a preemptive hole.
Well, let's get it out of the way now, Jim. Let's do this. You ready?
You ready, buddy? Ho! It does make you feel good, I'll tell you, man. Kind of tough to do in the airports. Especially back in the day, brother, when we were WWF days, we're traveling all the time, and they're like, Duggan, you got a radio at 6 a.m., and you'd be sitting in the airport. Oh, hey, folks. Hell.
Everybody looking around like, what the
security, you know, what the hell? And Macho be sitting here all dressed in his gear. Why? You think I'm a wrestler?
Don't tell me Savage was showing up in his gear, was he?
Oh, he'd always show up in his gear, man. He lived his gimmick, man. Wow. Yeah, he lived his gimmick. But God, one of the best there ever was, Macho. Jim, and he would tell you too if you didn't know
it. Jim, what were you wearing to just get around at the airport on like a lazy day?
Oh, I was wearing a pair of Zumbas and a T-shirt, man. That's right. That's pretty much what I wore to the Slammy Hall of Fame. You know, like, no, Duggan, we're going to put you in a tuxedo. That's what I'm saying. Me, Dr. Death, Terry Gordy, we'd be in some strip joint with a ceiling about this high, the smoke about this high, everything painted black, no clocks in the joint. DiBiase, Ric Flair, DB, and Terry Taylor be at some disco. They'd be on the road for 2 weeks. They'd still have creases in their pants, man. They were just the GQ kind of guys, man. But
you know, I've noticed too that guys from your generation, pretty much everybody, and DiBiase still wears it, the fanny pack.
Fanny pack. We're great, right? I tell you, you didn't have to worry about pickpockets. You put all your gimmick in there, and plus, you always had a big pack of airplane tickets. You know, you didn't have no e-tickets. So they were actually physical paper tickets. You had to carry them. You'd have your wallet, have your keys. Boom, bada boom. You know.
Man, going through all those tickets sounds miserable when you're, just trying to figure out what city you're going.
Well, there's a thing they used to have. It's called an OAG, Official Airline Guide, and it had all the airlines in it, and it told all the flights. They come out monthly. And actually, when I first met Deborah, I think it was before we got married, I sent her to travel agent school. And she became a travel agent, and so she knew the flights in and out, and we'd have that OAG, and she was able to change my flights for me. She's been taking good care of me for many years. I think he just posted a deal from Japan, one of my tours in Japan in like '86. And Deborah kept bugging. I guess she must have. I didn't know about it. I just recently found that paper. She must have been bugging that office over there. Where's Jim at? Where's Jim? Where's Jim? Where's Jim at? They sent her a list of hotels for about 2.5, 3 weeks. But yeah, she's been taking care of me for a while.
Jim, that was a crazy tour. I'm going to show the picture here on YouTube and post to editing. I'll put it up there. But that
Yeah.
was a crazy tour that you were on, Jim. I mean, you must have been absolutely exhausted by the end of that thing.
Yeah, it was, and plus Japan is a big country, you do it everything. You take boats, you big ocean-going ferries, you're on you take planes, you're on buses. That's the first place I seen TV monitors on a bus.
Ah,
That was revolutionary. I'm like, holy shit, they got TV. What? How long's the trip? I don't care. We're all gonna watch something, And also, like Japan was ahead at the time. They had cameras for the bus driver for backing up. He had a monitor. And also what they did over there way back in the 80s, the construction on the road, they do at night. Who would have thought?
it seems like a better idea.
Yeah, they got these big, huge spotlights, and they just work at night. It was a lot of people love Japan. Both my best friends, Gordy and Doc, they were a tag team over there. They spent a lot of time over there, but I didn't like it that much. No, I was marking off the days at the end of that calendar.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys made a shitload of money over there, but gosh,
Yeah,
you
the
spent
money
a
was
lot of
good,
time.
but a lot of the work was like that. A lot of traveling, bad. For every nice hotel you were in a little tiny hotel where your feet would hang off the edge of the bed. The pillow was made out of rice. The bathroom was a porcelain hole in the ground. You're like, holy. Yeah, in Japan, not that much for me. But Gordy and Doc had a good time. Me and I was over there with Stan Hansen a lot. We had a great time over there. Well, great. Yeah, Stan and I, we did have fun over there.
We're talking about you traveling, and Jim, I know that recently you and Deborah have been doing a lot of traveling. I got to hear about your recent exploits. Where you been? What have you been up to?
Well, we've cut off on the work. We've been home for a while. Actually, I thought today is Wednesday. I thought today was Tuesday. I was talking with Deborah. I said, yeah, we're doing the show with Marcus on Tuesday. She goes, it's Wednesday, Jim. I enjoyed being off, man. I've been feeding the chickens and ducks and everything. But the last weekend, we went to SMU homecoming game in Dallas, Texas. So we flew out Thursday, got into Dallas Thursday. My good friend, Rick Cowart, he brings us to this Ducks Unlimited banquet. And Deborah won probably $700-800 worth of gimmicks at the Duck Unlimited gimmick.
Right.
She won this big bag. She won a hand warmer. She won a torch lighter and flashlight. All these crazy things she won at a Ducks Unlimited banquet. So that was Thursday. Friday, we went to SMU campus. They put $150 million extension onto the stadium. And the kids, it's gorgeous. Compete with any NFL facility. It was just unbelievable. The head basketball coach was there. We went by. He came out. He's like, "Oh, Hacksaw Duggan, how you doing? I grew up. I was watching you. Take another lap." And I did. I sat in the hallway with him and the athletic trainer and the equipment guy, telling the Andre the Giant stories. So he went back to practice. The equipment guy's like, "Come on in here, Hacksaw. You got all this SMU merchandise. Take one of these, take one of these, take one of these, take one of these."
All right.
I got sweatshirts, T-shirts, everything's got the running Mustang on it. Deborah got a bunch of stuff. He really took care of us. And that was Friday. Friday night, we had a great time with our offensive line. We're all still good friends. Bully Woods, Joe Bays, Guy Thomas, Rick Cowart, and myself. We all stay pretty close. So we got along. And then Saturday, SMU versus Miami, 12-point underdogs. They're behind at halftime. We're sitting. Cowart gave up his seats. Well, we're sitting in a nice seat like this. I turn around. Okay, Rick, these are great seats. He's sitting on the bench, the metal bench. I'm like, brother, you didn't have to give up your seats, but thank you, man. Didn't offer to change. And at halftime, they had a little honor for Ron Meyer. A lot of people know Ron. He was in the NFL coaching also. I was captain my senior year for Ron. We did an honored him at halftime. And then SMU came back and won in overtime.
Yeah.
It was exciting as could be. And then after the game, the kids, the students all stormed the field. They tear down the goalposts. They take the goalposts across the field, up through the stadium, out onto the boulevard. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, we all had dinner again that night. And Sunday, Deborah, one of the agents, Deborah works with Zach out of Dallas. He got us an autograph session there in Plano. So I went to, I think it was Monsters Comics. Then I did a 2-hour autograph session, and we had a 7:00 flight. But Deborah said, "Well, let's get to the airport, see if we can catch this earlier one." We caught the 5:00 flight.
All right.
Everything was smooth that weekend. Very seldom, knock on wood, these things go like that. Usually there's huge screw ups. But yeah, everything would really had a really good weekend. I said, well, this will be the last time we go to SMU homecoming, Dallas. I'm like, I can't wait to go next year.
You gotta go back now.
Yeah,
man, incredible.
I had a good time. And now we're going up to Grand Rapids tomorrow, which I thought was in 2 days. But we're going up there. That's going to be a 3-day Comic-Con, so that should be fun.
Are you gonna do some sightseeing while you're there? Or is it all work?
That's pretty much all work. Yeah, we're not going to do too much sightseeing. We got one trip coming up. We're going to be in Albuquerque coming up next year, first part of next year. I'm not sure the date. I'll have Deborah have to post that. But last time we were in Albuquerque, it's been many years. We went to Monument Valley, and I was like, John Wayne stood right here, honey, stood right here. Deborah's like, get in the car, Jim. Get in.
See, now some fans gonna go there.
I think we're gonna go to Carlbad Caverns. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive, and when we go out west, we usually stay a few extra days and do a little sightseeing, exploring. And of course, we'll do the Celebrities for a Cause charity and Cody coming up. So we'll be out west for a week. So enjoy it. Yeah. But I love living here in South Carolina. People say, Hacksaw, you traveled 30 different countries, every state in the union. Do you have a favorite place? I'm like, yeah, no question. It's Lugoff, South Carolina. It sounds like a spinning competition. We had a Lugoff. We got to have a tie. We had a tie. We're going to have a Lugoff to see who wins.
Man, after all those years of travel, it's got to feel good to know that, you can just kind of hang out at home and chill out and enjoy the fruits of your labor, right?
Yeah, it's I was caught up, this year. Deborah and I think we did 8 weeks in a row. Went out west, went everywhere, connecting flights. Really worked hard, And then the Hulkster went down, and I'm like, what the devil? Why work that hard? I think everybody's starting to slow down. I think Teddy is a little bit. I mean, everybody in their early 70s.
Yep.
And yeah, so
yeah, a lot of the guys are kind of
get the autographs where you can, folks, or go to hacksawjimdugganshop.com.
That's right. You can see the QR code right above Jim's head over there. So go ahead and use that QR code.
We're going to do our Christmas commercial after we do this. Deborah, I got my Santa Claus hat and everything.
All right. We got to do that.
Of course, ho, ho, ho.
It's a natural.
It just works, man. I did a lot with that with WWF. They had me dressed up as Santa a lot.
They had that ad with you.
Yeah, Santa Saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe you got to be like a mall Santa, Jim. That could be like your retirement gig in the winters.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far, brother. Yeah, I'm a hermit. The guy came to fix a tractor the other day, and Deborah's like, "Go out and talk to him, Jim. Talk to another person face to face."
You're like, do I have to?
There's somebody outside, Deborah. Shut the gate.
We said it, guys. Go to hacksawjimdugganshop.com if you can't get out to see Jim in a signing, or if you want a personal message from Jim. Christmas is here, man. It's the perfect time for it. Right above my head. Oops, other hand. Right above my head. It's the QR code for Cameo. Do a
I
cameo.
learned not to point. I'm always pointing at the wrong one, man. I just keep my hands down now.
It's one of these. I know. Get Jim to wish somebody a Merry Christmas for you. How cool would that be? That's a really cool gift, or a gift you can give to yourself. Cameo.com
Oh, yeah.
/
And people just ask questions. They like to ask, what was my favorite match? I talk 2 or 3, 4, 5 minutes about the question. Not that I don't like to talk.
Yeah, Jim gives you your money's worth on Cameo, man. I've seen some of these videos. They're great.
Well, I call him the next day. It's like, it's Duggan again. Hey, I forgot to tell you.
Like, how do I get rid of this guy?
That's when I did my book. They called me and they're like, it was Triumph Books out of Chicago. And they called me like, Mr. Duggan, we're going to do a book about you. We're going to send a guy down, I said, well, thanks very much. Like, well, you don't seem very excited. And I'm like, well, I hear a lot of stuff. Like, well, we're going to send you in advance. Oh, USA, USA.
I'm
the guy comes down. The guy was a cool dude. He came down here. He's come to the house 2 to 3 days, And I told him stories and stuff. And I drove him back to the airport, And he's getting out of the car. I'm going, what, brother? I got one more. Because I got enough, Duggan.
He's trying to run. Jim, do you have copies of those books at your house? Maybe you could start
and actually we just found about 10 hardcover because they went in the hardcover, they went into second printing and they were all soft cover.
Yeah.
And we got a few, so we're gonna put them up on the shop. And got to do a whole new. I've been talking about this forever, but we'll do it probably today since we're doing the Christmas thing about adding stuff to the Hacksaw Jim Duggan shop.
Yeah, man. Let me know if you need help with it. I'm happy to lend a hand on that. And
Cool.
Man, some rare hardcover books coming to hacksawjimdugganshop.com. Come on, man. You guys get over there, check it out. We'll keep you updated.
The 2x4s have been my bread and butter. The 1 foot 2x4s. It's they can be personalized or just autographed. Because folks love, everybody's got an 8x10 of somebody. Yep. But you got the 8x10 of Hacksaw with a 2x4 underneath it. Some people tried that with Jake, but PETA got after him.
Staple a snake to the wall.
They got a snake under Jake's picture.
And these 2x4s are hand cut by Hacksaw himself, guys.
Yes. Actually, I got a busy afternoon because I thought I had all day tomorrow, but we're going to the airport tomorrow. But I got a big busy cutting some wood this afternoon for the Comic-Con in Grand Rapids, and of course we're sweating the shutdown.
Oh yeah,
we're writing them. Well, hopefully at the end of the shutdown they'll be getting out of it today, but it'll take a while to come through. And we fly tomorrow, but it's nonstop Charlotte to Grand Rapids. So hopefully we'll get up there and make the show.
Fingers crossed, man. I'm hoping it'll be
a safe trip. Good. I love Comic-Cons, man. I have a great time at Comic-Cons, and Deborah's like a social butterfly. That Pancho from Chips, remember Pancho?
Oh yeah.
I think he owes me some money. He's like TSA. Deborah, good to see you.
Hey, bud.
Deborah's like, it's okay, Jim.
Yeah, you got heat with Pancho now. Look out, Pancho.
No. He owes me. He just owes me a couple $100. I mean,
it seems like a fair trade-off.
Well, it's Jim, fun, and then I tell folks, you see movie quality costumes. You see like a Predator or Chewbacca, and then a kid walks by, he's just got a box on his head, But everybody's having fun. It makes no difference. And I think the more obscure the character, the better it is. It's like from some anime show. And then you have, I Dream of Jeannie and Ric Flair and $6 Million Man, Hacksaw Duggan. I mean, something for everybody at a Comic-Con.
Man, there's nothing like going to a Comic-Con. If you are in the Grand Rapids area, don't miss it. The Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Jim is there. I want to say
you got to get this out in a hurry, brother. Pressure's on.
Oh yeah, this is coming out tomorrow, so it'll be perfect timing.
Which is Thursday.
Yes, Thursday the 13th. This will be coming
out.
Not
Wednesday, no.
But like Rhino's there, right? PCO, number of guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure who, if it's not Jake or Teddy or one of Papa. I don't know many of the younger guys.
Yeah,
I
I know
told
that.
you I was on Jericho's cruise and a guy came up and I'm giving him an autograph. I'm like, oh, hello, Hacksaw Duggan, what's your name? He goes, I'm main event tonight, Duggan. I'm like, oh.
You thought he was a fan. That's great. Now I got to look back at
Sorry,
who he
brother.
was.
Yeah, I don't watch the show. I said that'd be like a cop watching Cops.
Right. Yeah, trying to separate yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, I know you got a busy afternoon. We can get into these notes today. It's a look
Going to
back.
finally go to work, huh, Marcus?
Oh, it's time to roll up the sleeves, brother. To look back 30 years to 1995 and WCW. We're going to continue the story there. We left off at Great American Bash 95. And so we'll pick it up where we left off and get to September 95 and the debut of Nitro, which is what the title of the show is this year, this month, whatever word I'm going for here. Jim, something I forgot to mention on the last episode was that at Slamboree 95, the Giant made his debut, and he is positioned right away as a threat for Hogan. And soon they're even going to make reference to him being the son of Andre the Giant, which I bought hook, line, and sinker when I was a kid. I thought he was the son of Andre. Jim, what were your initial impressions of this enormous green talent and his quick ascent to the main event?
Well, they brought him in at a house show somewhere, much earlier. We were at some house show or anything, and they brought in the Big Show into the dressing room. Hogan and we were all sitting around, and he had this real greaseball manager, man. He was because he knew what he had. He's like,
Yeah.
And then the Big Show was cool. He was respectful, excited to be there. Yeah, so you could see the guy had talent written all over him because not only was he was different than Andre. Andre had that Giant's disease where he was like a huge midget. He had like if that's the right terminology nowadays, but he had those type of features,
Yep.
And where the Big Show was just a well-proportioned big man, like Shaquille O'Neal. Just now there's a lot of 7-footers. Back in Andre's time, 7'2", that was really unique. Now you see a lot of 7-foot kids, 6'9", But he was very respectful. You could see he had talent written all over him. And he actually probably had a lot more training than Goldberg did, than Goldberg did. When Bill, they threw Bill right in the mix, man.
Yep. Yeah, untrained.
He admits it. He don't know what the hell's going on. I know how it was. I didn't have much training at all, neither. It's hard when you don't know what you're doing.
Jim, when you see like a young guy at TV, and maybe the Giant, maybe somebody like Goldberg, and knowing like what your background, what you came from, are you trying to like smarten the young guys up, or is it one of those eras where they didn't want to hear from the veterans?
Yeah, I just kind of kept to myself. I didn't offer words. If anybody, even nowadays, I'd never offer advice. If somebody comes up and asks something, I'll be sure to give my 2 cents. But what I tell kids, obviously, first the main question is, hey, I want to be a wrestler. I said, well, great, chase your dreams, because whoever would have thought Daniel Bryant would have made it? I first thought Daniel Bryant, and I'm like, that ain't going to happen. Well, yes. Building, the guy had the work ethic, the desire, became a huge star. But chase your dreams. But if you look at it a way to feed your family, numerically, you got a better chance of playing in the NFL.
Yep.
Where there's 300, 400 guys, NBA, 200 guys, WWE, 40, and maybe 30 that are in the mix. It's television. It's more competitive than sports.
Yep.
Makes no difference how good of an athlete you are. It makes no difference how good you can talk on camera. If you don't have it, you're not going to make it. And it's just not kids from America. You got guys from Japan, Australia, Europe. Everybody wants one of those 40 spots. I tell everyone, well, wrestling is fake. I said, that has nothing to do with it being competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Shows and days of our life. That's not a real show, That's not real people. It's a TV show. And try
Good
to
luck
get
if you
on that
can.
show. I mean, it's extremely competitive, but you never know. So chase your dreams, brother.
Yeah, man. It's in wrestling, it takes so many tangible and intangible qualities. You've got to have like the mind for it. You've got to have the willingness to travel, the willingness to beat yourself up for
Yeah.
pennies. And
Oh yeah, it's a long. I don't know how many chairs I set up, tear down the ring. It's a long. Well, nowadays is a little. Well, you think nowadays kids come through the indies, but they
Mhm.
don't have to quite. Well, I think a lot of them still do travel, but yeah, you pay your dues like you should in pretty much any business. Few guys get the golden one, like you're telling the Big Show. Boom, the show, Goldberg. Boom, got the big push. Ultimate Warrior. We pay a little bit of dues, but they gave him the big push. So, like you said, there's no set formula where you can run, a 3-5-40 and have a, 2 or a 6 foot vertical jump or whatever, bench press 500 pounds. Has nothing to do with it.
Right. Yeah. It takes like the personality, the drive. Like there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah,
Somebody
your
who's
family life, you're on the road a lot. Of course, you're not like back in the day when we lived it. It was a lifestyle for us. I don't know, Thanksgiving's coming up. My daughters are coming up from Florida, but Deborah and I talked about, I don't know how many Thanksgivings we had at a Waffle House, man, It's like lonely and cold out there on the road, brother. It's great if you make it, but you're beating the odds. But it's been a great business for me, and it's great for a lot of guys. As we talked many times, everybody sees the dark side of the ring. There's a good side of the ring also.
absolutely. I
Not
hear a lot
real
of guys.
good, it could have been a lot better, but still, it was as bad as it was, you know.
I've heard a lot of guys say that you kind of have to choose when you become a wrestler. Like, do you want to be a family man or do you want to be a wrestler? And a lot of people are like, you have to choose. There's no alternative. So that's why you see like a lot of deadbeat dads who are in the wrestling business.
Well, plus
Jim,
guys were banging the chicks all over the place back in the day.
hmm
I mean, they would actually be lined up in the hallway with Ricky and Robert, and when they were Ricky and Robert and Sean and Marty were all at the Labassiere Hotel in Shreveport where we did TV. They would literally be lined up in the hallway. So me and Doc, we would just get the overflow.
the stragglers. Like wolves
We pick
looking for
off
the
the weak and lonely.
the weak and wounded out there.
No.
Jim, it's also announced during this period that Ric Flair and Bischoff are not seeing eye to eye when it came to booking decisions. Flair had been booking for WCW during this time, and Kevin Sullivan is going to be taking over the reins. Jim, did you notice any difference between the way that Flair was booking or Sullivan was booking?
Uh, yeah, at that point, I didn't get along with Eric very well. When we first came in, it was great. When I first came in with Eric, with Hulkster, and we all came down to WCW, and we were doing TV at Center Stage in Atlanta with black covers over the seats so nobody could tell nobody was there. And we took it to a whole different level. But then, if everybody talked about talent getting the big head, Bischoff, man, in the office, he got the big head. And he
Mhm.
got very hard to deal with. Like now, I get along good with Eric, but
So you can
then
see why Flair maybe had issues with him.
yeah, and Flair's Flair, and I'm going to go with the guy that's actually in the ring doing the better booking.
hmm
Yeah, Flair and Sullivan. I've worked with Sullivan a bunch, worked with Flair a lot. So yeah, I didn't know Eric. He came from up north. I never worked near him. First time I met him was when he was working with WCW. So I had no interaction with him when I first met him. When I first came down, he put me on a nightly, and it was a good nightly, and they were booked, 28 days a month. And I was like, this is great.
Let's keep this going.
Everybody's like, Doug is on a nightly. I'm like, yeah, shut up.
Nobody tell him. He'll forget.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, so he made up for later on. But yeah, I would go with Rick, but I didn't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say I noticed a whole difference from my position. Guys on top. I was a mid-card guy then. Guys on top might have noticed more.
Well, with Sullivan as Booker, you're going to start a feud with one of his Dungeon of Doom members, and it's a guy I think that you know pretty well. It's the newly arrived Kamala, who just came to the company in June '95. And Jim, I don't remember if you and I have talked much about Kamala here on the show, so here's our chance. What do you think of big old James Harris?
James and I made a lot of money together. Me and Kamala, we worked in Mid-South, we worked in WWF, we worked in WCW. We did countless of independent shows together. Yeah, I worked with James a lot, man. The gimmick, I guess, it was now racist, but back then, well, he was one of the few guys that would scare kids on the way to the ring. You know, they play his music, the little kids be like, God, he'd come out with a mask on, boom. The kids, they'd all move back from the barricade, you know. Nowadays, no matter who it is, the baddest heel in the company comes down. The fans are like, hey, give me an autograph, hey. Back and Kamala come down and like, ooh, shit. Even the adults are like, and Kamala was a big man. Yeah. And he'd do that double toe touch. He was agile for a big guy. And I worked with Kamala a lot, and I'd say we were friends. Yeah, I got along good with Jim. He rode with me on a couple of the indie shows. And actually, we did an indie show in Atlantic City outside at the baseball stadium. And he stole Deborah.
Put her over his shoulder.
Yeah, he took her over his shoulder, took her back to the dressing room with a tag team, right? I'm working in the ring, and I hear all this screaming, big Walla Walla. That's what we call him in the dressing room. They call him Walla Walla. Walla Walla. He went over, he grabbed Deborah, he knows Deborah, of course. He throws her over the shoulder, takes off towards the dressing room. I'm in there working. They're like, what's the pop? What's going on? Like, Kamala's got Deborah. I'm like, what? Kamala's got Deborah. What? Holy shit. He got a great pop, man. Yeah, he was good. And I call him a weeble wobble, but wouldn't fall down. I mean, nowadays you do the spot nowadays, they'd boo you out of the building, you know. I'd hit the ropes, I'd hit him, and he'd do, whoa. Whoa. How does he? I'd be like, oh. He wouldn't go down. I'm like, hit him again. Yeah, and he 4 or 5 times, and finally, boom. And,
I'm sure they'd come unglued every time too.
Yeah, it was, you know, like I said, nowadays they'd boo you out of the building.
I don't know. I think that's a cool spot. I think
Yeah, it was a nice spot, especially with a big man like him. And you just had to put over. I'm sure he did that limbo thing. Yeah. He was, for a big, huge man, he could lean way, way back. And yeah, of course, he was a big guy. And if there's a big guy in our business, Duggan, get your 2x4. Come on.
You know, I
One
never got
man
to meet him.
gang, Kamala. Come here, Andre, Big Show. Get your 2x4. Come on.
You know, I never got to meet Kamala, but I heard he was kind of like a gentle giant type. Was he?
Yeah, he was very bitter. I guess Vince was one of the guys Vince really screwed over really bad. What can you say? Yeah, I guess, you know, I don't know firsthand, but you got to stand up for yourself too.
Yep.
I mean, you know, he's a grown man. He was working on top. And look at the other side of the coin. Warrior held Vince up. Give me more money. I'm not going to work.
Yep.
There's a lot of room in between those two spots to negotiate a better payday.
And you're right.
And Vince, yeah, no, he was obviously a heartless guy. I mean, why not throw him a bone? You know, why not now? A billion-dollar company, anybody from the F day still alive, throw us a bone. You know?
Yeah, I think they should give all former like if you work there for a certain amount of years, let's say 2 or 3 years. I think they ought to give you guys a pension so you can take. You know, a lot of guys are destitute. Like take care of them afterwards.
Yeah,
you know,
but yeah, a lot of guys are destitute.
Yeah.
But they also, like, the guys who made a lot of money that are destitute too. You know, I was never one of those big money guys, you know, but I just didn't buy 3 Mercedes and 4 Rolexes and have 5 kids scattered around the country, you know.
There's that too. Yeah. Guys not taking care of their financials.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Kamala, you're gonna take him on at Bash at the Beach '95, which takes place on the actual beach at Huntington Beach in California. You're gonna work with Kamala, and and you'll get pinned after a distraction from Kevin Sullivan and an attack
Son
from
of a
Ed
gun.
Leslie. Ed Leslie is the Zodiac, by the way, at this time. Jim, what do you think about working a match on the actual beach there in Huntington,
Yeah,
California?
I think that may have been the first time that was done
I
like
think
that.
so.
A big pay-per-view, and that it brought in a huge crowd. It was exciting to do stuff like that. Yeah, anything like that, I got a kick out of something new and exciting like that. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty unique. Like, you've worked a lot of places. I don't remember you ever working on a beach before or again afterwards, so pretty cool.
Not a beach. No, I don't think so. No, I've been in a rodeo arena where they brought us to the ring in tractors because the mud was so bad. We had to take a tractor out to the ring.
So you're going from the carts at WrestleMania 3, in front of all these people, and now it's like you're getting pulled
No.
out.
Oh no! I'll tell you what. They did one in particular. I don't forget where it was a big show, but then I did the Iowa State Fair, and they had the dressing rooms right by the row of porta potties. we're we're in a tent by a bunch of porta. In Japan, I got dressed in a truck in the back of a truck. I got dressed in cars on the way to the show. I went to the airport on the way after a show in my gear. I'll tell you a good one. I never like to tell fight stories. Everybody's got fight stories, how tough they are, and all this. But I got kind of a funny story you might want
All
to
right.
hear.
Yeah.
We're living in Louisiana at the time. We did a show in a town called Faraday, about 50 miles away from where I live. So it's like
A run-in.
that's one of my cats.
Running from one of the cats.
Yeah, no, but anyway, so they're doing the show in Faraday. So a main event at the show. I get done, and to beat the crowd, Deborah's got the car pulled up at the back exit. I come right out of the ring. I jump right in the car. She slides over. Boom, we take off. And I can get home. I'll be home 10:30. I'll be home like a day off. So when we have the match, I go out, I'm dressed in my gear, Deborah slides over, I jump in. I got my little pony beer back then, drinking while driving, Louisiana. But anyway, so I'm driving and this car comes at me. And then he pulls over, like I had slam on my brakes, got my side of the road. He pulls next to me, and I got my window down. There's two guys in the car. And the guys, I'm like, and he goes, "You know, there, I'll kick your ass." It was back in the old days, right? He goes, "Okay, I bet I will, buddy." So I pull over and I'm looking in my mirror and I can see the one guy come up. So as I get out of the car, boom, I pop him. It's a rainy night. And he goes down out into the road and almost gets run over. Like, "Arr!" And I turn to the other guy, and the other guy's like, "Hacksaw Duggan." I'm in my wrestling gear. He goes, "Hacksaw, you just don't hit me, and I think you hurt him." And the guy's like, "I think my arm broke." So I give everybody pony beers. I'm like, well, shouldn't mess with people on the road. And we take off. I'm driving down the road, and they got those big levees in South or Louisiana. You go for miles. And all of a sudden, way back at the end of the other levee, I see a blue light going blick, blick,
Oh,
blick.
no.
And the ears get closer, go blick, 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 blick. Like Batman. Blick, 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 blick. He's coming awful quick. So they pull me over. They're like, "Boom, you got to go back." I'm like, "Oh, gee, you got to go. Am I under arrest? No, but you got to go back." So, "Yes, sir." So we follow. I didn't have to get in his car. We follow him back. We go into the sheriff's station. Deborah and had my nephew with me. They're sitting in the lobby, and I go back in behind the doors. Boom! I go behind the doors. There's a sheriff with his kid on his lap. "Hey, Axel, we were at the show tonight. It was great, man. I'll tell you." "Oh, we got some autographs here, everybody. Anybody else?"
That had to be a big relief.
Oh man. So anyway, he goes, that guy, he's our local screw up, don't pay no attention to him. We have trouble with him all the time. And of course, this was back in the 80s, right? He could get away with before cameras.
Yeah.
And anyway, so the other cop goes out to Deborah, goes, you can leave. Deborah's, I'm not leaving. She goes, no, you can leave. I'm not leaving until I talk to Jim, you cops. I come right out. Deborah, whoa. We're out of here, kid. Shh.
She's a feisty one, man.
No, man. She takes good care of me, but
and this whole time you were in your gear?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think I put a t-shirt on finally. Yeah, but I did. Yeah, I know one time they wouldn't let me into a club because I had sandals on. And they're like, you can't wear sandals in the bar in Texas somewhere. So I went out, I put my wrestling boots on over my pants. And I came back in. I said, yeah, I just came back from a tour from Paris. And this is the next style. Everybody wears them in Paris. You don't know? Boy, they are good-looking boots. I'll tell you, there's some nice boots.
A fashion icon, Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, I got to ask you, we were talking about Kevin Sullivan and his Dungeon of Doom, and they were known during this period for a lot of really corny stuff. They turned Earthquake into the Shark. King Curtis was like kind of being worshipped, I guess, by Kevin Sullivan. Brutus was the Zodiac. And, just again, for context, you came up in like more of a blood and guts environment in wrestling, Mid-South, and it was blood and violence and fights.
Go ahead, excuse me.
And now you're here in WCW, and it's this weird cartoonish shit. What did you think of it?
Well, yeah, I went with a flow. I mean, and you can't get more rough and cut than Sullivan, man. I mean, back in the day, like I told you, I was a babyface in Mid-South. We shot an angle where they hurt me. I went down to Florida. Kevin Sullivan possessed me. He was a devil. He possessed me, and I'm working with Dusty in first blood matches and stuff, Yep. And the people didn't know about it. So I knew Sullivan and Dusty for a long time. But, those guys, I thought it was a waste of great tale, especially Earthquake and Beefer. But that shows you when Vince owns your character, he owns your character. Earthquake, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, they were iconic. And now there's, like you said, they're Zodiac and Jaws or something. I mean, what the hell?
Just terrible.
And of course, I got to say, in all fairness, I'm carrying a roll of tape in my trunks.
I'm glad you brought it up, Jim, because that's what's going on during this period. This is when it starts.
I pull the roll out, I wrap it up, man. And they told me to quit digging because sometimes I'd be like,
yes. There's a great meme of you out
tape
there.
And tape, man, I just when I was messing with it, boy, you could spin it around, it'd roll, and then boom, knock the guy. And I even did a vignette where I went back to Ireland to meet my great grandmother, who was tape fish champion of Ireland, and they actually spent quite a bit of money on that little vignette.
And I think it was
we shot it in Atlanta, Georgia, at a little this whole little Irish section of town.
And wasn't it actually you in the picture of your grandmother? It was like you with like an old lady.
Yeah, it was me with a gray hair and good-looking woman.
That's what was going on during this era, though, where like this tape fist kind of became your finish. You would pull it out at the end. What did you think?
Yeah. Well, Sullivan also. One time we had a little argument over, not really an argument, but disagreement over hoeing. Says Jim, you gotta get cut down on the hose. Of course, a million jokes, but for business wise, I'm like, they hoe back. It's not like they're not hoeing. It's not like it's ho.
Right.
And if I didn't feel it there that day every time I hoe, but he was he was in the office, so but I don't know if I actually cut back, but if the fans were into it, and plus I was into it, that was just me.
Right.
Wasn't like I'm playing, okay, I'm going to do 5 hoes tonight. I'm just out there rolling. I am who I am, and sometimes It just comes out, brother. Imagine me in the ring back in the day. Come on, brother. I'm going to hoe when I feel like hoeing.
Yeah, and I've watched a couple of your matches from this era, and during this time, if the fans were being quiet, you would say "ho," and they'd come back up again. It just worked.
Well, that's when they came up with the idea with the WCW flag and the purple trunks.
Yep.
And the gold boots, and they said, if they put me in purple trunks, gold boots, is in a big, huge WCW flag, and they said before the show, Hacksaw, go down there and get him to chant WCW like I get him to chant USA. Yeah, that'll work. I could get everybody $100 to chant USA with me. Yeah, right. Or excuse me, WCW. It just wasn't going to work. And they're like, you're dying out there. And I'm like,
I love Kevin
Sullivan.
Let me
be me, brother.
I was a big fan of Kevin Sullivan. I got to know him a little bit personally before he passed away, and he was just a super good guy. But yeah, some of this stuff was a little head scratching back during this period.
Yeah, I was on an indie where Kevin got hurt. Remember, he got hurt his eye?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were at an indie show down in Miami, and somebody had like a kendo stick or something and hit the other guy in the back, and a piece of it came up and hit Sullivan in the eye. This is relatively recently, in the past probably 10 years. Yeah, it caused a lot of damage. Yeah, a lot of grief for the guy.
Yeah, good guy. I like Kevin. I hate to trash his booking, but some of it was off. And something else that was a little weird during this period was the Collision in Korea happened during this time, Jim, which is WCW. They participated in this on August 4th in North Korea. So understandably, many talents resisted the idea of working. Hulk Hogan outright refused to go. So Flair would take Hogan's place along with a bunch of other guys. Jim, were you asked to go to Korea?
No.
if they had
even bothered asking me, brother. Not a chance in the world I'd go to Korea. Should I bring my flag? Yes, bring your flag. Yes.
Could you imagine the reaction? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they shit. Yeah, no, that was a no-brainer. But I did think about going to Nigeria.
Nigeria, that would be cool.
Yeah, Barbarian calls me and he goes, Duggan, he says, you want to do a Nigerian tour? And he throws out this big number. And he's like, you got to get a yellow fever shot and some other stuff. But here, boom, I'm like, holy shit, yeah, I'll do Nigeria. And I went home or here talking to Deborah. I'm like, Nigeria. I think that's a driver from Libya. Yes, you come say USA. We kidnap you.
Yeah, maybe not worth it then.
I cancel the can. I don't think I'll go to Nigeria. And then the guys that went to Nigeria, they're down in whatever the city is in Nigeria, the main town where they worked. But I know Barb is one guy for sure that went over. And they're all walking around. They went into the U.S. Embassy. And the lady at the desk at the U.S. Embassy is like, what are you doing here? Do you want to be kidnapped? Guys, long blonde hair, 6'6", walking around downtown.
Oh, terrifying.
Yeah. And I guess they had trouble getting their money and stuff, but they finally got their bread. But it was one of those bad, every good tour you hear of, there's some bad tours out there.
And pretty famously, they did like a little documentary. I think it was actually on Dark Side of the Ring. They talked about Collision in Korea, and Sonny Ono spoke to the Japanese embassy, and they literally said, "We can't guarantee your safety while you're there." And,
no, why would they go over there? Whose idea was? Oh, it was Inoki.
Inoki
wasn't it? What was that? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was Inoki took him over there.
And
yeah, I just found a big poster of me and Inoki. I wrestled Inoki. But that I don't see why anybody would go over to North Korea.
Crazy. They confiscated their passport.
Supposedly Flair kissed the ground when he got back.
Yep.
And I'm sure a lot of other guys did too. I mean, people don't appreciate America. You leave America and you go to like North Korea. Holy smokes, that's a whole different deal. You can just go into Canada. They don't have convenience stores. They have inconvenience stores.
don't think I've ever heard it put that way, Jim.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the kind of the main event of the show here. Monday Nitro. It's the debut of it on September 4th, and it's going to be at the Mall of America. WCW officially going head to head with the WWF. Now, a lot of people on the surface might think like, boy, what a stupid idea going head to head with Vince and this established show, Raw. But the thing is, WCW was live every week. Raw was not. They were pre-taped. So WCW kind of had an advantage of being able to say, hey, don't bother watching their show. Bischoff would go on the air and say, don't watch their show. Gold Dust beats Savio Vega or whatever he would say. He'd say, watch our show. Here's what we're doing. Jim, you know, WCW had you, Hogan, Savage, a lot of other stars that were built there. Now they're going head to head. Did you feel like WCW was going to, you know, put a scare into Vince?
I thought at first, when I first went down there with Ted Turner, we all had a big meeting. I thought it would put Vince out of business. Yeah, I was ready to be walking around with Mel Gibson and all these movie stars. Just association would elevate your talent. Mm-hmm. And Ted Turner had all the Turner resources. I mean, CNN, Turner Broadcasting, Turner Classic Television, had all this stuff. And I just thought that with all the momentum, and plus Vince and Turner didn't get along, I thought we were going to actually steamroll them.
You guys were well on your way.
It shows you what a master Vince McMahon is. I mean, to take on a Goliath of Turner, and even though as big as Vince was, and to come down with Shawn and Triple H in a Jeep out front of the show. I mean, genius. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Vince, love him or hate him, in between where I am, because I wouldn't be living my life at 70, almost 72, traveling the world signing autographs without Vince McMahon.
Right.
But also, if Vince had treated us right, I wouldn't have to be traveling around the world at 72. It's a double-edged sword.
You know, pretty huge spectacle here, this first Nitro at the Mall of America. Were you in Minneapolis for it?
I don't remember, brother.
I know that you weren't on the card, but I was like, I feel like they'd probably bring Jim in for an autograph signing or something to be around.
Probably. I did that with both companies. I did a whole lot of PR stuff. I did a lot of PR. Yeah, I had this one interview I could do in my sleep for radio interviews, because you know you'd have back-to-back radio, you know, because time zone change. Okay, you've got one at 5:30 in the morning, one at 6, one at 6:15. So you have the alarm set, you know, oh, hey folks, and had it all down. The other night I was putting my daughters to bed, and it was during the war. And it was a good interview too. My daughters looked up to me and asked me, Daddy, is it safe? And like you folks out there, I didn't know how to answer them. But then I think about the men I met at Fort Hood, Texas, Fort Polk, Louisiana, and I didn't see no fear there. All I saw was determination. And this crafty old colonel came up to me and said, Hacksaw, will you carry that flag? I said, yes, sir, Colonel. I'll carry that flag. For there's one thing those terrorists don't understand. Not only is this the land of the free, but the home of the brave. And as long as there's air in Hacksaw Jim Duggan's lungs, as long as there's blood pumping through my heart, I'll carry that flag, the flag of the United States of America. Give me a hole over there, brother.
Man, that gave me goosebumps. That was like your thing that you did every time you called into a station.
No, I'd like to be in the room next to me.
The guy's like, boy, it inspired me the first time. I don't know how many times I'm going to hear it though.
And I go to sleep 15 minutes. Oh, folks, and they asked me, would I carry that? I did it so much I can remember how many years later. And my daughters, like, they're much older. Like, Dad, you didn't put us to bed. Like, I put them to bed, and they said, Daddy, is it safe? You know, they're 15, 16 like Dad.
I think I saw you do that in front of Willie Nelson at one point on like his tour bus. That now that
Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah,
back
with
on it, yeah.
Willie. I got along good with Willie. Imagine why, right? I mean,
Yeah, can't be good to
me and
imagine.
Willie, and I got along good with Hank Williams Jr. Yeah, I got along good with the music people.
That's a cool crew to be in good with, man.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? And then you know the story of us singing on stage with Willie.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, at Farm Aid, me and Deborah, Knobs, and his wife Tony, we were there at Farm Aid, and the last song where Willie's on stage, he looks over, he's like, "Come on stage," and we sang "May the Circle Be Unbroken," and I was drunk as the son of a gun. So I'm like, "May the circle be un-" Get that guy's mic. Got it.
That
Well,
sounds
that's great.
amazing.
Yeah, I sang with Willie. Yeah, what the hell? And I think our WWF album went gold, so I may start a whole nother career.
You're a pretty accomplished musician, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know that telethon I did for 20 years. I did the Variety Club telethon for 20 years, raised probably $80 million. And those 20 years, they never let me sing.
Unbelievable. With
I
your
know it,
musical
right?
background. Well, Jim, the big news that comes out of this first Nitro, of course, is that Lex Luger is going to make a surprise appearance. And this is significant because the night before, Luger was on a WWF house show in New Brunswick, Canada. Vince was apparently under the impression that he and Luger had reached a verbal agreement, and Luger made the jump without telling anybody in the WWF
Oh.
office. So that kicked off Nitro in a really huge way. Jim, did you feel like Lex Luger coming in was a pretty big get for WCW at this time?
Well, I definitely saw it as a, concern. I wouldn't say a threat, but I would say, because, they pushed him so hard with the USA gimmick up in WWF. They brought him in on a helicopter, landed him on the aircraft carrier, slam Yoko.
Yep.
I mean, how much, how much more could hit Vince with a bedpan? I mean, sooner or later, you're going to get over it if you do stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But they pushed him so strong. But I've always been confident in my ability to entertain the folks, and that the character is who I am. So him coming in, I could see he would. I was more towards the twilight. I think I could see I was kind of moving out, but I was still hanging on.
Now, Jim, I know that wrestling is a business where it's every man for himself. But that being said, working a house show one night for the WWF and then jumping to a huge debut TV show for the competition the next night, it's pretty stiff. Jim, what do you make of doing that kind of thing in wrestling? Is it something you would have ever done?
I can never judge like that to say something I would never do. When I gave my note, I'm old school. I gave my notice to Bill Watts there in Mid-South. I did jobs on the way out. I did 2 weeks worth of jobs. Got beat every night. Bing and a bing and a bing. When Stone Cold left WCW, he was supposed to do the job for me, and he pulled that 30-second fiasco where he hurt his knee. He didn't really want to do it. Didn't do the job properly.
Yep.
And then, so this is just the evolution of doing that. Now you just don't do shit, just leave. And those telling, they probably threw a whole truckload of money at Luger to have him do that. But yeah, and I don't know what, and if the shoe was on the other foot, I think Vince would screw him without thinking about it. So
that's it too.
It's a cutthroat backstab business. So don't ever say you'd never do something. Yeah.
Right.
I think Vince would screw you in a minute.
I think most guys know, and it's kind of a thing that I've learned in wrestling is that like a lot of guys, it's always the boys versus the promoter. Fuck the promoter, we're one of the boys. I'm doing this for me and my family, and it's that kind of mentality. So it's like you kind of know, as you said, that Vince, if he had the opportunity to make money by cutting you or making sure that you don't get paid, he'd probably do it. I don't know. If you got a big money offer from WCW to just make the jump, it would be probably pretty hard to say no to that.
It'd be hard to say no, but you might give Vince the opportunity to match it.
Yeah, that's true. You could leverage it.
Yeah. instead of this. But I think, I think Luger's home was in WCW. He was an Atlanta guy. I think he wanted to be down that way. I don't think he probably liked WWF.
And who doesn't want to?
I don't know the guy very well at all, to tell you the truth. I don't think he enjoyed being up at half as much as he worked for WCW.
And who doesn't want a lighter schedule, which is what you get when you went to WCW?
Of course, that's what I mean. Yeah, it was a different atmosphere in WWF.
Well, Jim, that is going to wrap us up for this episode.
No, wait, I got one more I want to tell you.
Oh, yeah, I'll stay for 2 hours, brother. I don't care. But next time we talk, we're going to be talking about the remainder of 95, which includes Halloween Havoc and World War III. Jim, that's a Halloween Havoc where the Yeti made his debut, the giant mummy. So that'll be quite something to watch back.
I don't remember that neither, brother.
We'll watch the
footage. But when he was probably hitting the ring, I was taking my boots off, man.
Well, we're gonna watch.
Doc, come on, yeah, it was. I never stuck around. That's why I was never an office guy. Ted was a what do they call him, producer.
Mm-hmm.
Rotundo was a producer. Those Malenko producer TV. I'm like, no.
I want to go home.
I didn't want to do that. Yeah, it was a job, but those guys loved the business. It was a job for me. I loved wrestling, but I had a life outside of wrestling.
Yeah, you had priorities. We are going to watch back that moment with the Yeti because it is considered one of the worst moments in the history of professional wrestling.
Who's the Yeti?
It was Ron Reese, if you remember him. He was that giant. He's like 7'3", something like that. Oh,
is he the guy that put in the muscle suit?
No, that's El Gigante, I think. Okay. Ron Reese was.
I don't even remember the Yeti, baby. I don't know who the Yeti is.
I don't think you were at the event.
He didn't make much of an impression, I'll tell you.
We're gonna watch it back, dude. It is some of the worst things. One of the worst things you'll ever see in professional wrestling. It'll be fun to watch it back with you.
Yeah,
and we'll do that and more. But yeah, folks. In the meantime, if you can get out to see Jim in Grand Rapids this weekend, make sure you go out and do it. If you can't, again, hacksawjimdugganshop.com or the QR code above my head. Go to Cameo and get a cameo from Jim. And brother, always a pleasure to get to chat with you.
I have fun talking with you, Marcus. It's good to get a little bit out every once in a while, brother. Old Hacksaw's still in here with me. Yeah. But of course, say hello to Piper for me, my friend.
I sure will. Please give my best to your family, and we'll catch you guys next time on the Hacksaw Hour.
Thanks, everybody. Ho!